The Mobalytics Academy series is focused on the fundamentals of League of Legends. Curated by challenger level players, by focusing on these basics, even the most skilled high elo players can improve their game and climb the ladder. Going into the mid game as a mid laner can get confusing since most aggressive mids can go into any lane. Knowing what the best lanes are for your champion and the reasoning behind it will set you and your team up for success. Firstly, think about if your champion has safe wave clear, which normally means having ranged AoE wave clear. A few example mids would be Ahri, Orianna, and Syndra, who all have ranged AoE wave clear, while still being aggressive. Then on the opposite end, we have champions who don't have the best wave clear because they can get poked or crowd controlled easier during it. Some of these champions are Fizz, LeBlanc, and Kassadin. So champions with safe wave clear can play the mid lane for most of the game if need be, while champions with unsafe wave clear prefer to be on the side lane. Another factor with knowing if your champion excels in the side lane is mobility. Most side laners have some form of engage and disengage. Why this is so valuable is because most champions who have mobility win 1v1s easier than those who don't. That is why you normally see champions like Victor, Orianna, and Syndra in the mid lane during most points in the game, since it's the shortest and safest lane for champions without escape spells. Knowing your champion is only one aspect in knowing if you should go to the side lane or not. Certain champions excel at side lane, but we still don't see them going to the side lane until the mid game. The biggest factor for this is bottom lane towers. This is because it is common for the bot lane to pressure towers. So when the bot lane tower falls, they will go to a different lane to pressure another tower, opening up the opportunity for a side laner to take over the bot lane. Remember that you don't need to swap lanes if you have safe wave clear, and bot lane can swap top instead of mid inside of this scenario. So let's look at this real game example a little bit slower. In this game, Caitlyn is able to take bot tower after a 1 skirmish. After resetting, she heads mid lane where she can pressure another tower easier than going for the tier 2 bot lane. Meanwhile, Kassadin, being a good side lane champion, heads bot lane where he can continue to scale and escape danger with his Rift Walk. If Caitlyn never took bot lane tower, they would have never swapped lanes, since Caitlyn would have continued to go for bot lane tower after her reset. Another important part of side laning is knowing if you're on the correct side. Some of the important factors in knowing what side you should be on are if you're running TP, neutral objectives available, and vision control. The easiest way to explain this is imagining a game with all 3 outer towers taken, since the normal focus after towers are neutral objectives. If you are playing a side lane champion, you will need to make a decision between going top and bot. In most cases, you want to go to the lane that is closest to the most important neutral objective. Why you want to be in the lane close to the objective is to use your side laning pressure to create vision and picks for your team. Let's look at some of the problems in going to the incorrect lane. In this example, we will say that it's past 20 minutes, so Baron is going to be the most important neutral available. If you are splitting bot side and your team begins to fight around Baron, it will take a longer time for you to run from bot lane to fight around Baron than it would be if you were splitting top lane. Now, this scenario is mostly important because you're not running teleport. If you do have teleport, then the scenario shifts, and being on the opposite side of an objective is a good way to create pressure. This is because in cases where you have TP, you can arrive to the fight across the map very quickly. Not only this, but when you create pressure, someone should normally come to match you. If that enemy does not have TP, you now can arrive to a fight faster than your opponent, giving your team a numbers advantage around that objective. So if you have teleport, it is fine to split push away from neutrals as long as that teleport is available. Thanks for watching this episode of the Mobalytics Academy series. If you want to take your climb to the next level, download our desktop app to unlock even more new features like auto-imported builds and pick band recommendations at Champ Select.